Hey mamas! I'm excited to chat with you today all about school. So a number of you have been asking if I can share again what we're doing for school this year, and I thought, you know what, yes, that's a great idea. I would love to maybe offer some inspiration to those of you that are maybe new to homeschooling, or if you are well versed in your ways and are just curious what I am doing. I'm excited to sit down and chat with you. So we have been homeschooling for almost the entirety of our kids' schooling years. So what would that be? 7, 8 years now? Wow, that's so crazy. Wow, that's wild how fast that goes. Anyways, we have been around the block a couple of years, still always learning, still always growing. When I went into homeschool, I felt like, I am not a teacher, I don't enjoy books, I don't even enjoy reading. And so how am I going to teach my children well? Because to have academic excellence is important to me. So it's been a lot of learning, a lot of growing, a lot of praying along the way, but I'm excited for the upcoming school year. And I do just want to make it clear before we get into this that if you do not homeschool, that does not make me better than you. The same scenario is not best for every single family. We all have so much opportunity to pour into our children. I feel like that's something that can easily be overlooked both for homeschool moms and for moms that send their kids to school, is just truly what are we speaking into their lives, what are we pouring into them. And so I hope this video can be an encouragement to you. I pulled a bunch of books. I have 2 stacks here actually, and I probably should have taken a little more time to, if I can lift this over here, sort them. I kind of just spur of the moment pulled things out of our school cupboard. We got one of our box shipments in for the coming year, and I thought, yes, I'm excited for this. I have all these books here. Let's sit down and film this now. So if you have been here before, you know that we have been so much enjoying The Good and the Beautiful for the past number of years, and I'm excited to get into it again this year. However, we are no longer doing everything The Good and the Beautiful, or at least we're gonna try something different this year. So I'm gonna start off with that though, which is language arts. We have really enjoyed their language arts. They do so well in keeping things exciting and colorful. I feel like what so many school books lack is color and like making it look visually appealing, which is very much how I am geared. And so I feel like if I as an adult get so much more excited about colorful pages, then how about kids? So this is the level K book. So this is what our youngest official school student will be in this year. A lot of pictures and just definitely the best language arts and literature curriculum that I have come across, both when I went to school and also when I was homeschooled, and then through my now little family's homeschool journey. So that's kindergarten, and then level 3. I don't know how much y'all want to see all of these. There's always pictures even in the older grades. There's colorful pages. This one also comes with the answer key, which is really nice to just kind of speed grade. You're doing enough just thinking, and so that's nice to just be able to kind of do that mindlessly. I don't yet have my readers for this year, but I did pull these from 2nd grade because I wanted to show you the readers that they come with. They are just really easy to read, and for 2nd grade, the idea is that you'll sit down and read with your kids. So it's divided up by what the student reads and then what you as the parent or teacher read, and it's just nice. My 2nd grader was such a fast reader, but sometimes kids can struggle at that age and maybe just kind of lose interest after a while. So this is a great way to kind of keep them involved, excited for what they are doing. And then I also picked up their handwriting book. This is also The Good and the Beautiful. And level 3, I believe, is when they get into cursive writing. Originally, when we started homeschooling, we actually did Abeka, and that was one thing that I kind of wish they waited a little bit longer to get into the cursive writing. And so I feel like level 3 is pretty much prime time for that. They're well versed in like their alphabet and all of that. So the same thing goes here for my 6th grader. How is that even possible that I have a 6th grader this year? But again, this is her language arts and literature book. As you can see, we do not think we're ever too old for pictures. or exciting pages. School does not have to be boring even when you are in 6th grade. So very excited for that. Oh, and one thing I should mention too is with their curriculum, and I think that it's in nearly every subject, they will once in a while have videos. So we did math in The Good and the Beautiful last year, and starting, I think it's 4th grade or 5th grade, I have to go back and look, they have a video lesson with each one. Again, I keep comparing to Abeka because those are the two that I have taught homeschool in. Abeka's was more, it's been a while, I would say between 35 and 45 minutes per lesson, where you also have the like interaction between the students in the school. You can watch them on camera and stuff. This is much shorter, more like 5 to 12 minutes long per lesson, and it's just the teacher teaching you the concept of that lesson, which personally I prefer, and also I really like that this is a lot less screen time then. So we really did like that. We are actually planning to switch up our math this year, but we'll get to that here in a bit. For her handwriting book, level 6 looks like this. We don't necessarily do this every day, a couple days a week, and then again comes with readers. These are like flashcards, so like what's a verb, and then it tells you what the verb is in the back, and you can use them like flashcards, which is really nice. They also have a couple songs here. Is it for the adverbs or prepositions? I forget, but just basically to help them memorize them so that school can actually go a lot faster. This has been so much fun for me. I wouldn't say that I've been the biggest like science lover, but this has been so much fun for the kids and then also for me as their teacher. See if I can gather all my bearings here. By the way, while you're watching, let me know in the comments below if you are a homeschool mom, how many kids you have, and also what your current favorite curriculum is, because that's how you learn from each other, right? And you get better and find what works well for you. So if you are watching this and you feel like, this isn't the best fit, go read those comments and maybe you'll find something that really feels like the right thing for you down there. And we can all just kind of help each other along there. But science has been really fun for us with also The Good and the Beautiful. And I'm going to start with these. I talked of their Little Hearts and Hands curriculum before. I don't have the first one here. I think I have it up in a storage box, but this is meant for the younger grades. I would say like preschool through grade 2, 3 maybe. It is so much fun. They have a lot of stories in here, and you can tell again just covered in color, pretty pictures, and then they have some optional crafts that you can do with your kids. This is what your teacher page looks like. So it tells you exactly what to say. It literally says read to the child, and then this is what you read. That's the kind of parent guide that I need. It has some little experiments if you want it. In Field and Flowers, it was every other one that you would read a story from the book, and every other one was a video that you find on their website that you access when you buy the books, that are just so well done. I mean, it looks like National Geographic some days it's the teacher doing a little experiment, and that has been really fun for the kids to do and honestly for me to teach. So this is the one that we're planning to do this year. I believe this is a new one. They are, yeah, 2024, look at that. They're constantly coming out with new books. And then for the older kids, and really can go to the younger ones never want to miss out. So I just go ahead and order them student journals for all of them. But this is specifically meant for grades 3 to 8, and they have all these different unit studies. So this is one that we did last year. It's all about mammals. This is the parent guide. And it'll have a lot of things that you could put on like a bulletin board if you do bulletin boards, that kind of thing. Just kind of keep it exciting. Again, it tells you exactly what to read. We also started, I don't know, did we actually finish this one? Maybe we did actually. I think we did end up. I was wondering if we would. This one is on birds, and again, just the same idea. A lot of different fun facts and interesting things about birds, also life cycles and bird calls. We had a bird, what's that called? Not bird study, it's bird watching. That's what I'm trying to say. bird watching, and you can also print out a bird watching like notebook and how to identify different birds. Anyway, all of that was so much fun for them, and then of course that also comes with a student journal. Okay, math. We have one in math from The Good and the Beautiful, and she actually started this last year. I was a little mixed up on the grades. It is really well done, and we have really enjoyed their math. I'm not saying we won't go back to it, but for this year, for the older ones, we are planning to do teaching textbooks for the sole purpose of time. So now with 3 full-time school students, I find my time being pulled in all directions, plus a toddler and a baby. And so we were just trying to think like, man, is there anything that we could, you know, just make flow a little easier, that not everybody is waiting on me all the time. And I've had teaching textbooks recommended so many times. If you are new to it, they only start at, I believe it's grade 3, so this would be too young of a grade for them to do, but it's all on the computer, or you can also get like CDs for them, I think, but or like DVDs. What even are CDs anymore, right? That basically they teach the lesson online. The kid answers the questions on the computer. It gets graded there. And so from what I understand, it's very like everything is run there. If the kid doesn't understand a problem, they will repeat it and like teach it kind of like in another step. I don't know. We have not done it yet. Maybe we'll hate it. But from what I've heard, so many people love it. And if you do it, I would really love to hear your input on it as well and what your experience has been. With that, another thing that's new to us this year, but I think is such a great idea. This is actually from one of my friends. She was telling me about times tables, and basically this is not the sole like math curriculum. This actually goes for grades 3 to 6, but it's multiplication songs. So really just a great way for them to learn multiplication really well without just relying on flashcards. And then for geography, we are doing this book, Our 50 States, and I'm pretty sure I heard this recommended from someone. I don't know from who. I got it off of Amazon, so we're gonna see how it goes. I paged through it a little bit and we'll see. I honestly don't have too much to say about this yet, other than this is our plan for geography this year. They have a lesson review book, there is an atlas workbook, and then the answer key. But I would say if you're just starting out on homeschool, at least for myself, I really focused on math and like phonics, literature, English, that kind of thing for the first number of years. The thing is, kids learn wherever they are. So if they're running around outside and digging up insects, like they're learning, or if they're sewing and, you know, all the things, they are learning as they play. And so I think sometimes we can be over intimidated for no good reason, because kids aren't meant to have their heads stuck in books all day long anyways. And then with that, actually, I want to show you these as well, because these have been really fun for the kids. It's not a curriculum per se, but they do learn a lot. And that is the Tuttle Twins, which I feel like, again, is pretty common book set. These, it's literally just reading. There's no answers to fill out, but it's done in such a captivating way. And then another thing that we like to incorporate kind of as an extra, you could call it an elective almost, that is drawing. For a couple years now, we have been using Art for Kids Hub. They have a channel on YouTube. I believe they also have a website. It's basically step-by-step drawing. I like to get the kids each a sketch pad like this at the beginning of the school year, and then once a week or so they will do a drawing, which has been so much fun for them, and I cannot believe how well they can draw. I would show you through this, but I also try to respect their privacy with their work. Okay, now moving on to co-op. So a number of you have been asking, hey, can you share a little more about your co-op and how that all started? Because I'm often doing these homeschool dinners in my videos, and it's kind of interesting how it started. I had been wanting to be part of a homeschool co-op for quite some time, and just never found one that seemed to be a good fit. Like, it all felt like it would be more burden than blessing, and just kind of stressful to be part of. And Anyway, I mentioned to one of my friends once that, like, hey, what if we just, you know, kind of did our own little thing, and we all have something to give, and that's kind of how it started. 3 of us families, we all have kids around the same age, and it just kind of organically started from there. The plan was that I was going to do kind of a homemaking class, teaching kids like kitchen skills and gardening. And then of course I was so sick with my pregnancy last year, and then of course giving birth, I ended up scratching that idea, and I just ended up hosting all the time because I couldn't drive anyway. So I would host, and I would always do the snack, and then I would do the themed dinner once a month. So I'm going to get more into that here just in a little bit. But then my one friend, she speaks, I think it's 7 or 8 languages fluently. So we're like, okay, can you teach us a language? So she did Spanish this year. And speaking of that, I was actually going to mention this. Duolingo is a great website. It's free for learning languages, and the kids have been really enjoying that as well to kind of further what they are learning in Spanish and things like that. I think you can do a couple languages. So anyway, that is another recommended resource. But my other friend, she is a professional art teacher, and she has been teaching the kids art. They each got one of these little nature notebooks and have been sketching things I had no idea they could sketch, which has been so cool to watch. So that's what we would do. We would get together once a week, and when it was warm outside, we like to gather for a picnic lunch. Everyone would just pack their own picnic, and we'd come and sit out here under the big tree or somewhere and just enjoy lunch together. The kids would have a little playtime after that, and then we would get into the classes. So, and then 1 week a month we would get together as entire families. So we really wanted to also have something that the dads could be involved in, and just that as families we would do things together. And so that's what you often see on my channel. I thought, you know what, why don't we do these themed and just try to learn as much out of these dinners as we can, which has been really fun for me actually. I mean, we've done a number of themes by now. We did the Kentucky Derby, which I learned so much about the Kentucky Derby and the horses and all of that. And then we did Cinco de Mayo, we did an Easter themed one, Pilgrims and Indians, we did like all these different ones. The kids, sometimes even the moms, will dress up for whatever occasion that is. It's often just very like put together outfits, whatever we have on hand to kind of mimic what it could have looked like. And then I like to set the table per theme. This again is just fun for me. I love doing that kind of thing. Then I also like to go and research what foods they would have eaten at said event, and so we'll have dinner together. Oh, and I guess I forgot to mention earlier, the kids also do handwriting time, which is simply we turn on quiet music, they sit down with their notebooks, nobody's allowed to talk, and they just write. Once we get to this homeschool dinner, they would get up on stage or just in front of everybody and read their chapter of that month. A great way to also kind of step into a little bit of public speaking and that kind of thing. So that's really what our homeschool co-op, kind of how it evolved, how it's going on. All 3 of us are like, yes, absolutely, we want to keep doing this next year. So I'm excited for it. It has been such a fun addition to homeschool. Another thing that we're hoping to incorporate kind of as an extra this year is music lessons. There's a very good chance that I'm missing something that I should be talking about, or that we do and that I'm just not thinking of. Even when I fail them at doing the books, or when it feels overwhelming even to me and we just send everybody outside, or we go on a nature walk instead, or all the things, there are so many ways that they are still learning, they're still growing. And this is only touching like the educational side of things. There's character training that's so important. There's life skills. All these things that really just get weaved into the day-to-day while we do our work, and while we take our kids alongside of us and teach them what we know, exemplify good character and morals and how we respond to things, and really just being a good example for them and praying for them, learning and growing with them. So I hope that this was helpful to you in some way. Again, would love to hear from you in the comments below. So thank you so much for being here, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye, friends.
Golden, golden thing.